Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sascha Fahrbach. Now, at the 79th Cannes Film Festival, Paweł Pawlikowski once again took the spotlight as Fatherland, earning a shared Best Director award alongside Javier Calvo and Javier Ambrosi, adding a second Cannes directing trophy to the name after Cold War in 2018. Now, the film continues his signature exploration of intimate human relationships shaped by historical rupture, thematic thread running through Ida and Cold War. And now we'll discuss the film and its impact on global culture with Dawid Muszyński, editor-in-chief of naEKRANIE.pl. Good to have you with us. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, I mean, it's always a wonderful thing to see Polish cinema do well on such a high level. So let's just get your thoughts about what it means for this film to get that accolade that it's received.
I think for this film it means that Pawlikowski is one of the highest Polish filmmakers that we have. Like, it's his third movie and we can think about it like a trilogy. Ida received an Oscar. Cold War received a Palm for the Best Direction in Cannes, as you said, and now Fatherland is also receiving a Palm, and I think it will be a strong consideration for the Best Picture in next year's Oscars. So I can see that this filmmaker is not having any low balls. He knows what he wants to do, and he gives us a trilogy about a post-war Europe and what it means to live in that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's an interesting note because I think all of those movies, they deal with exactly this post-war time and a bit further, with Cold War, during the Cold War itself in the 50s. But why do you think he keeps returning to this particular time frame? What's so relevant about it?
Because I think it's one of the most interesting ones if you want to show people that have to build their lives again in the new world, because the world never again changed so much that all nationalities had to rebuild their connections to each other. They have to find their own roots again. Like this time we're going to Germany that was divided, and it's 1949. So when Thomas Mann, Nobel Prize winner, is coming back there, he sees a country that doesn't know what to do with themselves. That people that are living there try to rebrand themselves after what happened after the Second World War. So it's not so easy to find your place in a world that is reshaped again in a different way that you thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. And also I think it's interesting when you mention the past. So how much does this connect and the relevance it has to today's world? Give us your take on that.
I think it's very much because we are now looking also for our roots and for our identity in the world, but in a different way than after the war. Like, we don't have to rebuild our cities, we don't have to move to look for a better future somewhere else because our home is not existing anymore, and I'm talking only about Poland. So we're reshaping the societies about the social media, about how we are talking to each other, how we communicate. We're shortening our sentences all the time. We're communicate with emojis, not words anymore. So it's a different way. But Pawlikowski sees that showing this black and white movies is a bridge from the past to a future.
Mm-hmm. And also, I want to share with you just a quote here. This is from the director at a press conference, but from Pawlikowski here. And I said, "Reality is complicated, and nothing people say truly reflects who or what the world is like. I relate deeply to the sense of helplessness. Probably not only me, perhaps audience feel it too." So what do you make of that? Interesting, like this helplessness. How does this combine here?
Watching his last movie, I can see that he is relating to his main character, Thomas Mann, that is staying by his virtues, but the virtues changed because the world changed, and he doesn't know what to think about it. He doesn't know how to say, I was wrong, that I can use my emotions to relate to other people. And on the other side is his daughter that can only go for the emotions. And if we look on the movies about history, they're always trying to glorify people, saying like, you were on the right side of this war, of this history. In Pawlikowski, there is no right and wrong. Everybody is losing. we know that the connections between us is broken. Families are divided because one of them is saying like Nazis were right and the other say no, Nazis were not right. And we have the same right now in Poland when we're divided by politics, and it's destroying our connections, our roots. And Pawlikowski is showing that if you stick too much to your rules without also guiding with your emotions, you can lose far more than people beside you. You can lose your history, you can lose your roots, you can lose actually yourself, because you will stick so hard to what you thought you believe in, even if you're wrong, and you're not listening to anybody that is next to you or behind you, that you will lose yourself. You will close yourself in a small bubble that you think that everything is all right, not seeing the real world around you.
Yeah, and I think it was also interesting, as you mentioned already, like in terms of right or wrong, and Pawlikowski pushing this idea of maybe the middle ground, maybe this gray, black and white. And I think also it's interesting that in this film and others, right, it's also seen as black and white. So
yes, that's why I'm saying that this is a trilogy, because in all those movies, people in the end are not winners or losers. They are still trying to find themselves in this world. And if it's about Jews, if it's about love and finding the connection, or here traveling through a city, through a country that is trying to rebrand itself. Like, he's coming to Western Germany to receive his Nobel Peace Prize, and then he's going to East Germany to have a lecture for Soviets. So you can see how this, even the small country, is changing from one side to another.
And also, I mean, changing and different interpretations, I mean, with Polish cinema as well. What do you think, like, if we now have this accolade, it's quite an international one, this will give more prominence to Polish cinema, people will watch this, but what do you think the international viewer, it's hard to maybe make in one demographic, what do you think they're going to take out of this?
To be honest, if you watch on the Cannes Festival this year, it wasn't only one Polish director and only one Polish production that was there. Like in the main competition, there were two ones. The second one was the new Decalogue that was produced by Maciej Musiał. There were Polish-French productions that were also there. There are Polish short films like Spiritus Sanctis, about a guy who is trying to buy a vodka in a day when Pope died. So there is a prohibition and everything is closed, and it's like a small odyssey for him traveling through the town. So you can see that Polish cinema is learning from the past, from Pawlikowski, Ida and Cold War. They know how to tell the stories, not for the Polish viewer, but for the global one. So we are more and more seen over there. Even when you see the Oscars, we're more and more in this competition scene. Maybe not every year, but every 2-3 years, a Polish movie, short movie, or a feature film is featured there. So I think we should be very grateful for such filmmakers that are showing the young filmmakers the way and teaching them what to do and how to do.
And also, I think, in terms of teaching people and themes, there's a bit of a, let's say, liberty taken with the actual story of Thomas Mann, right? It's not exactly that story. So, I mean...
It's cinema, it's not a documentary, come on.
No, true. But I mean, in terms of adapting it, I mean, what do you think in the creative process? How did that shape this film?
I think that they're trying to go deeper to the emotions ones and showing through this journey of father and daughter for the country that they had to abandon in 1933 when the Nazis were coming, and showing how much this escape divided them. And you're not thinking about when you watch the movie, you don't think about, oh, it's a Nobel Prize winner. No, you look like a family that doesn't know how to talk to each other, that doesn't know how to describe their emotions, that one another is a little bit afraid of saying what they truly feel. And isn't it true for every one of us? Like when we gather around on a table in the, I don't know, Christmas Eve, that we don't really think that we can say whatever we feel that we have to be very safe, even if with our own family.
Maybe a rhetorical question, but I mean, would you recommend then, I suppose, in your sense, this film?
Of course, I think that this is one of the best Pawlikowski's movies that will relate to everyone. It's not so close like to previous ones, and it's only 83 minutes long, so I think that everybody can sit there, enjoy, and have their own thoughts after the seance.
And then just last point in terms of what it actually means also for Polish filmmaking. I mean, there are many films. I know that some have been now released recently as well, more to the public, more internationally accessible. What's the message also for Polish cinema because of this?
That if you're doing something, do it worldwide, because right now it's not the better time to show that with all the streaming services and the distribution worldwide. People are craving for new stories, not only blockbusters based on comic books. They're fed up with them, so they're looking for the real human stories. If you have one, make it, and people will want to see it.
Yeah, and I think it was incredible, as you said, another, not just for this director, but also various movies. I think a big day for cinema, but also Polish cinema. Yeah.
Yes.
So thanks so much for sharing insights, Dawid Muszyński, the editor-in-chief of naEKRANIE.pl. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay right here on TVP World for more news and commentary. Goodbye.